welcome to my views on news. Another video for you. Several key developments are happening very rapidly. That is why I did not sleep. This is last video before I go to sleep. Firstly, now it has been confirmed. Tigray military command has been confirmed. The retreat or withdrawal of Tigray forces from Wollo. In the previous video, I shared this news with you. Now it has been officially confirmed. Is this retreat result of a deal, or TDF had to retreat because it was under pressure in Wollo? We'll talk about that. And secondly, viewers, a US senator who is pro-Ethiopian government has arrived in Ethiopia. PM Abiy welcomed him, and PM Abiy shared a message on his Twitter account saying, Jim Infoho, welcome back to Ethiopia. Who is Jim Infoho? If you remember, he visited Ethiopia last year as well, in May. Almost 2 to 3 weeks before Ethiopian government announced unilateral ceasefire in Tigray in June last year. Jim Infoho visited Ethiopia back then. Once again, he is in Ethiopia. Try to analyze the visit of Jim Infoho. Firstly, viewers, it has now been officially confirmed that Tigray forces are withdrawing. They have withdrawn from their gains from the areas under their control in Wollo. Tigray military command has released a statement confirming the withdrawal of Tigray forces from Wollo. From Gobiye, Kobo Robit Kobo, Tigray forces have withdrawn, and this process started around 3 days ago. Gradually, they withdrew. Is this withdrawal or retreat result of a deal? Firstly, if you have been watching my videos regularly, you must be aware of what I said around 3 weeks ago. Around 3 weeks ago, 2 to 3 weeks ago, we spoke about entry of Eritrean military in Afar, when there was a protest by people in Birahle to stop Eritrean military from entering Afar and from moving towards Tigray. Back then, I had said that it would be difficult for Tigray forces to continue their advance into Wollo and to remain in control of areas under its control in Wollo if Eritrean forces start launching attacks on Tigray from afar. So you see that Eritreans have been trying to reach A2 highway from Mount Asta and Amhara and ENDF forces. They have also been putting pressure upon TDF both to the east and west of Kobo Robit and Gobiye. TDF was under pressure in Wollo. It decided to retreat. Now it's very clear that two factors are important. First one is the entry of Eritrean forces in Afar, and secondly, massive counteroffensives being launched on TDF positions, especially to the west of Kobo Robit. Is this retreat a result of a deal? No, it's not a deal. Tigray military command in the statement said that Tigray forces entered Wollo to convince, to push Ethiopian government for starting of talks. But Ethiopian government has chosen the path of force and war. This is the statement of Tigray military command, that Ethiopian government has chosen the path of war and force, not peace and dialogue. So it's very clear that this retreat is not result of a deal. Tigray forces had to retreat because it was becoming increasingly difficult for them to hold on to their gains because they were coming under pressure on different fronts. Problem is Tigray is fighting on multiple fronts. From afar, Eritreans, afar militias trying to enter Tigray. From Eritrea, EDF, ENDF putting pressure upon Shiraro Shire. From western side, Amhara forces, ENDF, they are trying to cross Takeze towards Dadebut. Several offensives launched. So it is difficult for Tigray to advance into Wollo while Tigray territories are in danger. So that is why this decision has been made. And reportedly on this front, some drone strikes were conducted as well yesterday. So overall, we can sum up that Tigray forces had to retreat from this front. Will they retreat altogether or will they try to remain in control of some areas on Tigray-Amhara border, which are strategic areas close to Kobo? Let's see. We'll update you in coming videos about this key development in Wollo. TDF is not withdrawing from Ethiopian. That shows it's not a deal. Had it been deal, TDF would have withdrawn from all Amhara areas. So it's just withdrawing from Wollo. It wants to remain in control of Ethiopian because Ethiopian is very strategic. In order to defend Mesambre, you need to be in control of Ethiopian, and TDF wants to move towards Volkayet as well. That is why TDF retook Ethiopian after days of fighting around 4 to 5 days ago. So it's not a deal. TDF had to retreat from Wollo. Can this move of retreat from Wollo lead to start of talks between Tigray regional government, Ethiopian federal government? Tigray, in its statement, military command said that it was an initiative, a decision made by Tigray unilaterally. But I don't see any start of talks because of this initiative taken by Tigray regional government. Because Tigray forces were forced to withdraw. Had they been in a position to continue advancing into Wollo, they would have stayed here. They were forced to retreat from Wollo. Secondly, viewers, a US senator who visited Ethiopia last year when Ethiopian government was about to announce withdrawal from Tigray and unilateral ceasefire in Tigray is once again in Ethiopia. His name is Jim Infoho, viewers. In May 2021, at the end of May 2021, at the start of June 2021, he visited Ethiopia. He is pro-Ethiopian government senator from Republican Party. He held meeting with PM Abiy back then, I remember. And a few days after that, PM Abiy announced unilateral ceasefire and withdrawal of troops from Tigray. And that senator, Jim Infoho, opposed sanctions on Ethiopian government before May. US government was threatening to impose visa restrictions, other restrictions on Ethiopian government officials. Jim Infoho opposed those restrictions. He returned to US from Ethiopia after that PM Abiy announced ceasefire. And then we saw that he opposed termination of Ethiopia from AGWA as well. Karen Bass and Jim Infoho, both in US Senate, opposed removal of Ethiopia from AGWA. But Ethiopia was removed from AGWA. So he is pro-Ethiopian government senator. He has arrived in Ethiopia. Some meetings have been held between Jim Infoho and Ethiopian Parliament Speaker. Secondly, he has held meetings with PM Abiy as well. PM Abiy welcomed him in a tweet. He is a senator. PM Abiy never welcomed other US senators in this manner, the way he welcomed Jim Infoho today. He tweeted that welcome back to Ethiopia, Jim Infoho. So he is very pro-Ethiopian government. Last time when he visited Ethiopia, Ethiopian government was under pressure. Ethiopian government was being threatened by US of sanctions. And once again, he is back in Ethiopia. Again, Ethiopian government is under little pressure, not as much as it was last year. Now, so far, US government has not threatened to impose sanctions on Ethiopian government. But if this war goes on, then we could see such threats. So Jim Info is in Ethiopia. Can his visit lead to some flexibility on the part of PM Abiy's government to find a way out of this crisis in northern Ethiopia? Let's see, that remains to be seen, but I think his visit is a very crucial visit because this man, Jim Info, has some leverage. He is seen as pro-Ethiopian government. Ethiopian government trusts him as well. So maybe in talks between Jim Info and PM Abiy, some progress could be made to resolve the war in northern Ethiopia through peaceful means. Thank you for watching.